Hey everybody, this is Lord Tremendous once again with another 2,500 point battle report to tell you about. This is the first battle report I had on September 1st, 2013, because it was 1 in the morning when we started playing this game. And yeah, so it was me, Lord Tremendous, versus Lord Hissyfit, my Lizardman opponent. A same day-ish rematch. Granted, it was a completely different day, but it was the same session, because yeah, it's 1 in the morning when we decided to play this game, so if it looks a little funny, there's a reason. We're exhausted. Still a damn good game. My army list is the usual. I have my general, Lord Demon Prince, Lord Tremendous. He's got the Mark of Nurgle. He's a level 3 wizard. He's got Chaos Armor. He's got Wings. He's got the Charm Shield, Dragonbane Gem, Other Trickster Shard, Soul Feeder, Scaly Skin, Poisonous Slime, and he has the Lord Nurgle. His hero buddies are the Exalted Hero, Tardum, the Herald of Slaanesh. He's got the Mark of Tzeentch. He's on the Demonic Mount. Well, he is the Demonic Mount. He's my BSB. He's got a Halberd and a Shield, Talisman of Preservation, Potion of Foolhardiness, and the Third Eye of Tzeentch. I've also got my Chaos Sorcerer, Ashicus the Muse. He's got Mark Slaanesh. He's a level 2 wizard. He's got the Steed of Slaanesh, Warrior Bane, Enchanted Shield, Talisman of Endurance, Chalice of Chaos, Chaos Familiar, and Allure of Slaanesh. And of course, his cargo pants to keep everything in them. My list is as follows: the 24 Chaos Warriors with Mark of Nurgle, Hand Whip and Shield, Full Command, and the Banner of Eternal Flame. Another brick, 20 by Chaos Warriors, Temple Guard of Tzeentch, Mark Tzeentch, Halberds, Full Command, and the Blasted Standard. My special choice are the 5 by Hellstriders, the Pleasure Riders, with Spears, Shields, Banner, and a Musician. And of course my rare choice of 3 Skull Crushers, sorry. They have Lances, Banner, Musician, Banner Swiftness, and of course the Mutalith Vortex. Yep. And I got asked why I would put lances on my skull crushers as opposed to ensorcelled weapons. Quite simply, I like all 18 of my attacks to be strength 6 on the charge. With the Banner of Swiftness, if someone's charging me, they've either rolled out of the box for their charge, or I've really screwed up, or a combination of the two. But with the lances, I really like the ability to have half my unit with magical attacks and half not. I like the strength 6 because with 9 attacks, if I run into a monster, a Carnosaur, a Stegodon, a dragon, something like that, I can put those attacks there, and with 18 attacks with relatively good initiative, I should be able to blow through that monster. Should be able to blow through a monster. It'd be more difficult to do it with ensorcelled weapons. And of course, then if you run into something that's immune to magic, like the Banner of World Dragon or something like that, it limits your options. And in an army that's so small like this, you got to be careful. But that's my reasoning with lances. It's not foolproof, but that's the reason I go with it. My opponent's list, I know I named him Lord Hissyfit. That's just a jab at him. He understands. He understands. And if not, he'll punch me. So either way, it works out. But it's the same list from previous battle report, like 3 or 4 battle reports ago. He's got his old blood, Lord Hissyfit, his general. On a cold one, he's got a great weapon, the Armor of Destiny. He's got the Dawnstone and the Other Trickster Shard. He's got another old blood on a cold one with a great weapon, the Sacred Stegodon Helm of Itza, the Talisman of Endurance, I think, or maybe Preservation. I don't remember. And maybe some other stuff. I really am not sure exactly what he has. He's got a Scar Veteran on a Carnosaur. He's got Blood Roar and Loping Stride with he's his BSB. I believe he's got the Armor of Fortune, a great weapon, and something else I can't remember. Yeah. Hey, buddy, if you're watching this, you want to put it in the comment section, great. He's got his 2 Skink Priests, both are level 1. One is Laura Heavens, one is Laura Beast. One carries a Dispel Scroll, and one carries a Cube of Darkness. And I gotta say, if you're a Lizardman player and you don't have any real desire to play with a Slann, that is a genius kit out. 2 level 1 casters running around. One has a Dispel Scroll, one has a Cube of Darkness. Essentially, you have 2 Dispel Scrolls. Yeah, I mean, that's just so efficient considering how, elite this army is. I really am impressed with that. He has a unit of 30 Saurus Warriors with full command, spears and shields, a unit of 22 Saurus Warriors with full command, hand weapon shield. He's got a unit of 10 Skinks with musician and javelins, and they scout. So yeah, he deploys them separately. He's got the Bastillodon with the Beam of Chotek, Ancient Stegodon with the Engine of the Gods and Sharpened Horns, and 6 Kroxigor. These are the spells that I got for this particular game. As you can see, they're perfect. Just like me. And they're his spells. He once again got Harmonic Convergence and the Amber Spear. I kid you not, I watched him roll them, and it's breaking my heart. Well, he got Ice Shard Blizzard last time. This time he got Harmonic Convergence. But still, watched him roll the spells. What can you do? Here's deployment. Pretty much exactly what you saw last time, only this time he decided to turtle up on the other flank. Yep. Starting from my right to left, the Kroxigor with his Old Blood, the non-general Old Blood. His Carnosaur BSB. As you can see, he's added some paint since our last game, because our last game was like 7 hours ago. So he's been painting his Carnosaur a little bit, and he's starting to look really good. Admire him, if you will. He's got the Saurus Warrior Brick Hand Weapon Shield with his General Lord in him. His two Skink Priests are hiding behind that unit. He's got his Ancient Stegodon, his Bastillodon, and his other unit of Saurus Warriors. It doesn't get any more plain than that. On my right flank is my Demon Prince, followed right next to him by the Nurgle Warriors. I've got the Skull Crushers there. I've got my BSB behind them, and I kind of regret putting my BSB there, but hindsight's 20/20. So what can you do? I've got my Tzeentch Warriors right next to them, followed by my Mutalith Vortex Beast. And of course, on my left flank, I have my Hellstriders who have vanguarded away from his unit of 10 Scouting Skinks with Javelins. Top of turn 1, he gets to go first, so he does, and he moves forward a little bit. Not a whole lot, he's a lot more conservative this time. During his magic phase, I mistakenly let the Beam of Chotek go off on my Hellstriders, and 3 of them die. I shouldn't say mistakenly let it go off. I did let it go off, just simply because I needed to stop other things I was worried about. And yeah, it went off and killed 3 of my Hellstriders right off the bat. Rest of his magic phase I'm able to stop, though, so I guess it's win-lose. But the other Hellstriders are destroyed by the javelins that are thrown by the Skinks, and so yeah, top of turn 1, my Hellstriders are dead. Which, needless to say, upsets His Majesty Ashicus. So bottom of turn 1, after movement, as you can see, everybody moves up. We're a little pissed off, and my level 2 Sorcerer is kind of hard to see because there's no paint on him yet, but he runs over to that hill and aims at the Skinks because he wants revenge for his lost unit. So during my magic phase, I get Choir off on him, and I kill 4 of them. Or 3 of them, and that's enough for a panic chest, and they fail, and they go 5 inches away. So yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better about that. Top of 2, his Lord tries to charge my Nurgle Warriors and fails, and his Carnosaur tries to charge my Demon Prince. Or no, he tries to charge my Nurgle Warriors as well, and he also fails. But my Nurgle Warriors make their terror check on 3d6 minus the lowest. So I was thrilled. That's like the first time I've ever done that. Other than that, nothing else happens. His magic phase is a wash. I think he rolls like a 3 for his magic phase, and nothing gets off. And his shooting is gone because it's fleeing currently. So we go to bottom of 2, my turn, and the Nurgle Warriors charge the his Old Blood on a cold one, his General, because he's out in the open now, and my Demon Prince charges his Carnosaur because I think that's a matchup that my Demon Prince can do. And of course, my Ashicus charges the Skinks that are fleeing currently, and they flee another 2 inches because they're still D6 movement, and Ashicus catches them no problem and destroys them. And as you can see, the Skinks have been ran down. The Hellstriders are avenged. Over here, you can see a little bit Nurgle versus the Unkillable Lord. I don't plan on wounding him. I plan on combat resing him. Over here, the Demon Prince is slammed into the Carnosaur, and I just think that's going to be an epic fight. One really worth watching. And it was. I charged in. I did 4 wounds to the Carnosaur, missed killing him outright by 1. And then they attack back, failed to do anything. With the charge into 4 wounds to his BSB, I win by 4, and he fails and breaks. The BSB dies, and I run the Carnosaur down. So I'm feeling pretty good about that, I won't lie. Over here against his lord, my unit champion has to issue a challenge and is summarily cut to pieces. I still win combat by a ton, and he flees and he gets away. And I fail to. I run like 4 inches, 4 or 5 inches, and he runs 164. So yeah, he gets away unfortunately, but it's a start. His lord is now out of position. So top of three, need to say his lord rallies. The Stegodon and the Saurus warriors charge into my Nurgle guys, and the rest of his army just kind of shuffles around to keep my army at bay. So yeah. Yeah, crap right here. The Stegodon and the warriors slamming into my Nurgle warriors was not the hopeful plan, but it was what it was. What can you do? And yeah, once again, his magic phase is a wash, and he has no shooting phase, so we go to combat, and boom. I do a bunch of wounds to his Saurus warriors. I think I end up winning this combat, actually, by 4, but I do take a lot of wounds in return, and he makes both of his panic checks, or his break checks, so that sucks. Over here, bottom of 3, after movement, the Demon Prince kind of flies around a little bit to get a better angle at whatever. The Mutalith moves around to keep on firing off his spell at the Saurus warriors. There was just nothing for him to charge at, and the Skull Crushers charge in to try to help out. I want to kill the Ancient Stegodon basically and do more wounds so that I can get combat res and make them break, because I see the Kroxigor coming and that makes me really nervous. Not to mention his general is back, and if he can get into combat, I'm screwed. So I sent in the Skull Crushers hoping to save him. As you can see, the Skull Crushers made it corner to corner. And magic is a wash. I couldn't get anything off, and so yeah, we go to combat, and again, it gets ugly bloody. I put 2 or 3 wounds on Ancient Stegodon. I smash up a whole bunch of his Saurus warriors, but his Thunderstomp, I think he did 5 Thunderstomps, and I couldn't save any of them. He ends up killing like 6 of my guys, which really hurts. I win again by 4. And he needs 4s to stay with no reroll, and he makes both. Well, he needs a stubborn 6 with his Stegodon, so he makes it no problem. But the Saurus warriors staying in combat really sucked. Top of 4, worst parts of the Bible. The Kroxigor get into my flank. The Saurus warriors get into the Skull Crushers, and his lord makes it into the Skull Crushers, and it's all over but the swinging. Magic is a wash, so combat is just gonna be bad. Yeah, as you can see, bad. I'm at this point, my mind is like, oh god, what do I do to get out of this? Okay, yeah, as you can see, not only do they just smash me, but I don't do a whole lot back. I'm able to kill some of his Saurus warriors. I don't even bother swinging at the Ancient Stegodon anymore because there's just no point. I just need combat res, but I've got 3 Nurgle warriors left, and yeah, everything gets destroyed. I lose combat, everything breaks. If you're wondering why this picture looks so different, it's because we moved that big hill out of the way, because everything was falling over on everything else. So we moved the hill out of the way, put everything back down. The Nurgle warriors escaped. There's 2 warriors left. They need snakes to rally, and it's bottom of turn. No, it's top of 4. So yeah, I don't really have any hopes of them rallying or making it back. The Saurus warriors that charged it in with the spears, they catch my Skull Crushers no problem. The Saurus warriors end up slamming into my BSB, who can do nothing but catch it. The Tzeentch warriors fail their panic check and flee. On a rerollable 8, they fail the panic check and flee, so they're off the screen right now. And as you can see, that's where everything else ends up. So it's like, oh dang, that seemed like such a good way for it to go my way too, and it turned on me fast. So here's bottom of 4 after movement. I get my Demon Prince into the Stegodon. I rally my Tzeentch warriors, and I put the Mutalith into the flank of the Saurus warriors because I need to save my BSB. There it is right there. The Demon Prince goes into the Stegodon because I got to finish that thing off. I want to also get rid of their 6-up ward save that it's offering them. There's the Mutalith slamming into the Saurus warriors as well, looking to save my BSB. And wish granted. The Mutalith just goes crazy. He does like 5 wounds in to the unit or something like that, just with his attacks, and then another 4, something like that, 4 or 5 from Thunderstomp. My BSB, there's nothing in there to challenge, so he just goes crazy and tears up like 3 or 4 of the guys, and then does a stomp and gets another one, and the unit gets destroyed. They're steadfast, but they fail their break check. There's no BSB anymore, and while my Mutalisk stays, the no, my Mutalisk and no, my Mutalisk stayed. My BSB ran him down. So boom, boom, and suddenly there's hope again. And my Demon Prince kills off the Ancient Stegodon and overruns into his Lord. I know that's a terrible matchup. I know that that's the worst possible thing I could do, or the worst possible combat I could put my Demon Prince into, but I have a charge, I have a flank. He is not going to be steadfast. He doesn't have a BSB anymore. My hope and my prayer is that I can win by 1 or 2 and have him roll those dice. And just hope, hope, hope that I'm able to get it to work out. Also, I didn't want him charging into my Mutalism and killing him. So, there was that. So here's top of 5. His Bastiladon charges into the rear of my Mutalith. His Croxagore charge into the flank of my BSB. And yeah, that's really about it. Luckily for me, though, my Mutalith has no problem not only winning this combat, but turning around to face him. And so yeah, the Bastiladon is starting to be like, why did I do this? Over here, my BSB, he actually takes a couple of wounds. He needs a 4 to stay, and I roll a 3. That's the 2 dice that you see right there. And then to turn to face, I need a 4, and I roll a 4. So he turns to face the Croxagore, and now it's on. I mean, it's in a challenge. The 2 wounds that he took were from the impact hits that character's little Stegodon helm gives him, if you can believe that. Everything else I was able to slough off no problem, but yeah, couldn't believe that. And I wasn't able to do any wounds back. But yeah, I stick it out and I turn to face. So bottom of 5 after movement. As you can see, there's not a whole lot going on. It's the Tzeentch Warriors tried to charge into Bastiladon and failed their charge. Other than that, everything is pretty much exactly the way it was go before. My Ashicus level 2 / sorcerer runs over to just start bullying the Saurus Warriors with Choir or whatever the heck it can get off. In combat, my BSB not only wins combat, but they fail their steadfast check and flee, and I'm able to run them down. Couldn't believe it. I don't know who was more shocked, me or my opponent. So yeah, the BSB is just champ. Over here, the fighting continues. The Mutala takes a wound, does another wound to the Bastiladon, wins combat, doesn't matter, he stays. And my Demon Prince starts getting beat up a little bit by his Lord, so I'm starting to think that maybe, yeah, I'm going to lose my Demon Prince on this one, but I'm still going to fight. Still got to fight. Here's top of turn 6 after movement. As you can see, it's getting desperate. My Nurgle Warriors are almost off the board too, which sucks. The Saurus Warriors decided not to charge my BSB. At this point, he was just trying to save points. We go to combat, and there's a grudge match still going on between the Demon Prince and the Lord. We flub at each other, don't do anything. I win combat by 1, and he flees, he breaks, and my Demon Prince pursues and catches him. Victory for the Demon Prince, finally. I still have not wounded this damn character. I still have not wounded the Old Blood General with my Demon Prince, or anything for that matter. But finally, after 4 games, my Demon Prince finally comes out on top on one of our close combat things, and I'm thrilled. And thus, the victory picture. And then, of course, he overruns, to catch him, and he slams into Bastiladon before that combat takes place. And guess what happens to the Bastiladon? It dies a horrible, horrible death. And at this point, it's bottom 6. The game is over. It's bottom 6 at this point, and it's game over. So yeah, that's really how the game ends. There's really nothing for me to do. I do one final thing. My Demon Prince turned after killing the Bastiladon, turned to face the unit of Saurus Warriors that were trying to avoid getting killed. I charged them. They failed their terror check, and I ran them down. So in the end, they're gone. There's nothing but chaos left on the table, and although I It wasn't a perfect victory. It felt glorious. And if anybody sees my opponent, if you see him, just walk up to him and give him a hug. Just give him a hug because I spanked him. I spanked him and it felt good. I'm sorry, but earlier, if you watched the earlier battle report, if you saw how I stole that victory from him, this one was just salt in the wound. So next time I see him, he might just punch me in the face, and you know what? I kind of deserve it. So whatever. It was a great game. I enjoyed it. All right, quick timeout as always. Take a look at the banners. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them. You know you want a banner. Get a banner. Just send him an email and see what he can do for you. Trust me, it's worth it. All right, and yeah, Lord Tremendous puts down Lord Hissy Fit. Complete victory. Felt good. I lost the Unit of Nurgle Warriors, I lost my Skull Crushers, and I lost my Hellstriders. Because, hey, let's face it, this guy's no slouch. The Lizardmen lost everything. Yeah, the Demon Prince by himself took out all the dinosaurs. The Carnosaur, the Stegodon, that crazy-ass Bastillodon. He actually put the finishing wound on him. And you know what? I'm even going to say it. His Old Blood General, that's a dinosaur. I don't care what you say. That thing is way too tough to be anything else. I think a Carnosaur would choke on him. So yeah, the Demon Prince was able to take out all the dinosaurs and the Lord by himself. All hail the Demon Prince. My BSB took down the Croxagore and the Lord single-handedly. Granted, it was crazy luck, but he did it, and that's really all that matters. So yeah, my heroes and my lords really stepped it up this game and did awesome. And hey, you know what? Even my level 2 caster was able to get a hold of those skinks that took out the Hellstriders. So hey, everybody produced in this game. It was a great game though against a great rival. It really was. I love these games against my Lizardman opponent. They're always intense. They're always fun, and I'm really looking forward to our next match. Thank you, buddy. But yeah, once again, I hope you guys really enjoyed this battle report. I hope you continue to watch them. And if there's anything I can do to make it more or less enjoyable, just put it in the comments section below, and I'll do whatever I can to try to fit in your suggestions or your insults, whichever. Thanks.